describes the traditional black-white racial binary, a function of the legacy of slavery, the African American struggle for civil rights, and the fact that in the 20th century, blacks represented the largest minority group. It is important to note that in the 21st century, people of Latin American descent, referred to by the U.S. Census Bureau as Hispanics, are the largest population of color in the nation. According to the Census Bureau, while blacks compose 13% of the U.S. population, Hispanics are now 17.6%. Growing faster than the Hispanic population is the Asian American community. Less than 1% of the population in 1965. By 2011, the Asian population had grown to approximately 6% of the U.S. population, now the fastest-growing racial group in the country. Within the broad umbrella category of Asian Americans, the 6 largest groups by country of origin are Chinese Americans, Filipino Americans, Indian Americans, Vietnamese Americans, Korean Americans, and Japanese Americans, together representing 83% of the total Asian population in the U.S. While Muslims cannot be accurately defined in terms of one racial or ethnic group, because Muslims come from many countries of origin and not just the Middle East, it seems fitting to include current statistics about the Muslim population because some of the dynamics we see regarding racial difference during the last 2 decades apply here as well. Certainly since the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, there has been an increase in anti-Muslim sentiment in the U.S. that should not be ignored. The Pew Research Center estimates that there were approximately 3.3 million Muslims of all ages living in the United States in 2015, representing about 1% of the total U.S. population. The Muslim population is expected to double by 2050, half of that projected growth the result of immigration. Also of note is the growth in the population described as multiracial. In the year 2000, the United States Census Bureau began allowing people to choose more than one racial category to describe themselves. Since then, the nation's multiracial population has grown significantly. The number of white and black biracial Americans more than doubled, while the population of adults with a white and Asian background increased by 87%. According to a report of the Pew Research Center, multiracial Americans are at the cutting edge of social and demographic change in the U.S. Young, proud, tolerant, and growing at a rate 3 times as fast as the population as a whole. Indeed, the percentage of multiracial babies has risen from 1% in 1970 to 10% in 2013. Clearly, our national diversity is growing rapidly, yet old patterns of segregation persist, most notably in schools and neighborhoods. More than 60 years after the Brown v. Board of Education Supreme Court decision, in every region of the country except the West, our public schools are more segregated today than they were in 1980, as measured by the percentage of all black students who are attending schools that are 90 to 100% non-white, with the highest rates of school segregation in the Northeast. Though the South made rapid progress toward school desegregation in the late 1960s and 1970s, typically in response to court orders and other federal pressure, the Northeast did not budge much, and patterns of de facto segregation in the Northeast continue to rise, slowly but steadily, such that today, more than 50% of black students in the Northeast attend schools that are classified as 90 to 100% non-white. Nationwide, nearly 75% of black students today attend so-called majority-minority schools, and 38% attend schools with student bodies that are 10% or less white. Similarly, large numbers of Latinx students, approximately 80%, attend schools where students of color are in the majority, and more than 40% attend schools where the white population is less than 10% of the student body. Both Black and Latinx students are much more likely than white students to attend a school where 60% or more of their classmates are living in poverty, as measured by the percentage of students eligible for free or reduced-price lunch programs. Separate remains unequal, as schools with concentrated poverty and racial segregation are still likely to have less experienced teachers, high levels of teacher turnover, inadequate facilities, and fewer classroom resources. A series of key Supreme Court decisions